I'm Simon Shapiro, and this is Singout, SpeakOut. Great to have your company again, and thank you for all your support. I really appreciate all the feedback that I'm getting, and please leave some comments here on this show. I'm recording the audio slightly differently and also shortening the format just slightly, so let me know, do you like that? Do you not like it? Is it better, worse? You love it? You hate it? I really do take all the feedback on board, so thanks for your input. Now today's show and today's song is called Someone Else. This is a song that I recorded on my solo album, Between the Noise, and I wrote the song for a friend who was in this world of believing that everything about them wasn't good enough. They really wanted to change absolutely everything to the point that they would recognize in everyone else around them all the things that they didn't have. You know, the money flow, the perfect job, the amazing relationship, the beach body, whatever it was, someone else had it. And in giving counsel to this person, advising them, I wanted to get this right. And what I found is I had to confront my own feelings of envy and jealousy. And I discovered that actually there was a lot more there than I was comfortable with. My world didn't look the way I wanted it to either. And so that made me think, why do we do this to ourselves? And my initial advice was, don't compare yourself to other people. You know, you're not anyone else. You're running your own race. You're not like anybody else. You don't have to stand up to the judgment of them or the judgment that you put on yourself when you compare yourself to other people. And yet that's what I was doing to myself as well, far too often. I guess I then thought about it, and realistically, that's what we do as humans. That's part of our evolutionary survival, isn't it? I mean, when a whole bunch of other people are running away from a big hairy animal with big teeth, we look and we go, maybe I should run as well. You know, or if we're the only person drinking out of this pool of water and we're getting sick all the time, and all the other human beings never drink out of that water and they don't get sick, and I compare myself and go, I might stop doing that. You know, it's pretty normal. I guess the big thing is that in that world, that's about survival, and it's easier to make the connections between what we're comparing than in today's world, where so many of the things that we want are not about our survival. So we can feel a little bit silly or selfish for wanting things and for feeling jealous or envious that other people have them. And yet that's still connected to that primal instinct that we really should be having what other people have. It is important to us to have things that other people have for those good evolutionary reasons. It just doesn't make sense in this modern world. So I think we need to be kinder on ourselves. I think we need to be able to allow each other to want what other people want, to sometimes feel jealous, to sometimes be envious. But what we don't want to do is forever be punishing ourselves for wanting those things. And what I've found is the best way for me to not feel bad about it is to actually use what I see other people have as inspiration. When somebody has something I don't have, when they've achieved something I haven't achieved, I actually go, wow, they're actually showing me it's possible. They're not taking from the limited resources of success or of happiness or of love or whatever it is they've got that I don't have. They're actually showing the way. This is possible. It's possible for them, so it's possible for me. It's possible for you. Because what I definitely believe is, you know, the way to change the color of that green-eyed beast is to feed it compassion. When you are wishing good things for people, even people that you don't like, people that you're envious of, it's amazing how that jealousy can disappear when you want something good for other people. Now, I've just finished reading the Book of Joy by the Dalai Lama and the Archbishop Desmond Tutu, two amazing men who were the leaders of their country at probably the most tumultuous times in their respective countries' histories. And they led with compassion. And what they both said in this book was the most express way to get happiness is to wish it for other people, to be compassionate. If it's good enough for those two incredible men, it's good enough for me. So if you're ever feeling the grass is greener on the other side, I agree with you. Most of the time, the grass is greener on the other side. But the harder thing to recognize is most of the time, we're on the other side. Most of the time, things are actually in our favor and we don't realize it. I know life can throw a lot at us and we can feel like things have come down against us, but the one thing we always have is how we choose to respond to it. And that's not always easy, I know that, but we're in this together. So let's be kinder to ourselves. Let's allow ourselves to want what we don't have, to sometimes be jealous, to sometimes be upset, to sometimes be judged and judge ourselves, but to use that as inspiration to be the best version of ourselves. I think sometimes in this world we are rammed with the idea that we need to be our authentic self and you do you, don't follow anyone else's path. That seems like great advice, and it can be, but sometimes we also need to follow someone else's path to either find our own or correct our own. It's okay to have role models. It's okay to see something in somebody else and say, I want a little bit of that. And so this song might seem like a negative one, and it probably came from a negative place of wanting to be someone else completely. But really what it's saying is, I just want to change, and I just want to find inspiration on how to do that. Someone else, you wanna be anybody but yourself. Do you want to cry like the angels cry? Do you want to die like the heroes die? Do you want to know what the prophet knows? Do you want to go where lucky people go? Places far from here. You give everything you own for just one moment being someone else. Someone else. You wanna be anybody but yourself. Someone else. Someone else. You got to be anybody but yourself. Someone else. Someone else. Could be you, my dear, no less. Powerless. It's a mess. How does anybody live like this? Powerless. It's a mess. How does anybody live like this? Like
to all reluctant acrobats, pushovers and front door mats, searching